Yo, yo, yo. What's good? What's good? It's Stormybman, and I am back. Welcoming you to the post-fight show with Stormybman for this Saturday, April 11th, 2026. This is the post-fight number 2. Seeing that we're coming in right behind the fights that were taking place on Probox TV, just wrapped up, where we had in the main event, Editorial Mielnicki taking on Omar Ulysses Huerta for the IBF, USBA, the WBC, Continental Americas, and the WBO Global Middleweight titles. You know, it's always good to see a fighter that is progressing in the sport. And Editorial Mielnicki Jr. is one who is doing just that. Being guided by Ronnie Shields, veteran, coach, and major sage in the sport that really knows how to develop fighters. Mielnicki is in a situation where if he continues under the tutelage of Ronnie, he's going to be just fine. White Magic is his alias, and he's from Belleville, New Jersey. And tonight's fight out of Atlantic City was a perfect bid for him because he got a chance to get people who really support him to come along and pay attention to what he's doing. Mielnicki has one loss on his record going back to April of 2021, where he lost the majority decision to James Martin. But he has since turned his career around and gotten bigger and better. He now is in a situation where his record is 23 wins, 1 loss, 13 KOs, And the fighter that he defeated tonight was Omar Huerta, who was undefeated coming in. Yeah, Huerta had a number of knockouts on his record too, because though he's from San Diego, California, he's fighting primarily in Mexico. So the 6'1", 30-year-old Huerta record is now 15 wins, 1 loss, 1 draw, and 13 KOs. He had a hard time with Mielnicki in the early on in this fight. Well, Mielnicki was taking the fight to him. The precision and punch placement of Mielnicki was outstanding. Took him out of the fight before he could get going. In the later rounds, Huerta tried to pick it up and fight more, in exchanges and everything. But the writing was pretty much on the wall. He was not going to knock out Mielnicki. He was cautious of Mielnicki's punch placement. The shots were clean and crisp. Plus, Mielnicki can take a pretty good shot himself. So, we see Vito go ahead and pull out a unanimous decision win here. Going into this fight, he had told those who were interviewing him, he said that he's ready to start stepping up in class and taking on some of the more well-known fighters and elite fighters. And as I stated earlier, as long as he's got Ronnie Shields with him, he's going to do just fine. Because Shields has been there. He's been there through the thick of the battles with the best that the sport has to offer, both on the winning and losing side of things. So he is a well-versed man, experienced, and I'm certain that he'll know how to guide Vito amongst this landscape in the middleweight division. Good fight tonight. And the card overall, Probox is really doing some solid stuff. Now, they had 2 cards this weekend. They had one for Friday night, and they had one for tonight. So we have just been spoiled when it comes down to the sport of boxing. But it's not just simply about the volume, it's the quality. The quality of the fights that we've had a chance to witness. And mind you, a lot of these men, and in some instances, some women, are fighters that we're not that familiar with. But the fact that Probox TV, Zuffa Boxing, can bring them into your homes on the weekends, Thursday night, Friday night, Sunday night, and including Saturday nights in some instances, you get a chance to get very familiar with some of these names. And then you can look forward and they can build a fan base through you because of what these promotions are putting together. So it is really something to, take a lot of stock and pride in. Because it was just a little over 3 years ago, we were complaining about all these overlapping broadcasts and, the quality. Too many 80-20 and 90-10 bouts. Guys just padding records. The whole deal about back end money. Man, don't you just hate hearing that back end? But it's a little bit different now. And we can thank Turkey Al-Sheikh for that. want to take a quick moment and acknowledge who we got out there in the Rumble. We got LPRN out there saying salute sensei in chat. EJ is in the building, and Del Real. EJ in the Rumble rant saying Probox really had a phenomenal fight card for these 2 nights of boxing, sensei. You're right about watching boxing because you may never know who is the superstar elite boxer. Or you may never know what you can learn from the conflicts, from the circumstances of what transpires more than anything as far as the elite boxers, EJ and chat, because the elite boxers come and go. Some fizzle out, some retire, some get knocked off of their lofty perch. It changes. So, but the circumstances of boxing, like how many of you were able to catch from the earlier broadcast on Netflix that horrible referee from last week's fight with Deontay Wilder and Derek Chisora was judged over several fights on the Netflix card? He was a judge. You see, this is the type of foolishness that I try to point out, but I can't do it all by myself. Mark Bates was the judge over several fights on that card, and I think he even refereed the main event. When will we get beyond the foolishness, man? As soon as the rest of you wake up and start complaining and putting in notifications and saying how much you're displeased. But if that doesn't take place, we're going to have more of the same. So yeah, over here on YouTube, it says we only have 4 people checking us out right now. That number may or may not pick up. Some people didn't even know that there was a Probox card tonight. And you know why that is? Lack of acknowledgement and promotion. Not from the people who put on the bouts, but from your content creators. I keep telling you guys. Keep telling you. Now, if something really spectacular happened tonight, everybody would try to be talking about it tomorrow, right? But let me tell you, something did happen spectacular on this card. We got a chance to see 2 young fighters, both undefeated, figure it out between the 2 of them. Yeah. Because that's the big important thing, to figure it out. I'm talking about the co-main event that took place here with Jan Marcos, Cuban fighter, taking on Dwight Flemings Jr. They called him DJ. Rod Neal, what's good with you, brother? These 2 men entered the fight. Marcos was 14-0 with 10 KOs. He's a southpaw, of course, being a Cuban fighter, out of Havana. He's based in Miami. He's got very fast hands. 5'9", 25 years of age at the super welterweight division. He's really got pop on his punches, but he's got this thing of hitting and getting out of the way. But if he commits, there are going to be some people who have issues dealing with him. He's 25, as I said. good fighter. Now, Dwight Flemings entered the fight 11-0 with 10 KOs, 22 years of age. Now, as he came into this fight against Marcos, one of their old had to go. A little bit taller than Marcos, maybe about 6'2", Flemings looked to be, period. He had good pop on his punches. Hand speed wasn't as fast as Marcos, but 22 and 25 years of age, young men. He's an orthodox fighter. The 5th and 6th round of their scheduled 10-round bout happen to be the reasons that you tune in to watch boxing. As the fight opened up, Marcos was given a lot of lateral movement, circling, flicking that fast hand of a jab. Flemings was trying to track him down. But in the 4th round, a solid 1-2 straight down the pike from Marcos put him on the canvas. I think that was for the first time in his career. And we were like, uh-oh. And Flemings beat the count. He got up. But he was a little bit backpedaling after that. And that seemingly gave Marcos a great deal of confidence as he began to come on and bring the fight to Fleming. And the bell rang with them jostling, with Marcos having the advantage. Then comes round 5, the very next round, and Flemings decided to use a high guard coming in after in pursuit of Marcos. And then he caught Marcos with a great right hand while he was near the ropes, not in the corner, but along the long side of the ropes, where he caught him trying to move and duck out of the way, but he landed the punch perfectly. And then Marcos took a dip to the canvas. Man, then we had a fight, people, because, listen, young guys, when they get knocked down for the first time in their career, this is why you need to see fighters tested, because you just don't know how they're going to respond to trial, difficulty. So after that, both guys were a little bit cautious, but still trying to be effective, and it made for closer rounds. They began to, from that point, exchange rounds. Like, you win this one, I win the next one. You win this one, there was no more of that stringing together rounds. And I believe Flemings was being trained by his dad. I believe so. I'm not 100% certain on that, but I thought I heard them say that was his dad. But let me tell you something about this fight, you guys. It didn't matter who won or lost. What mattered was what transpired. They both ran into circumstances of difficulty and had to overcome those circumstances. And they will be better men and fighters as a result of having faced one another. We have men who are holding on to world titles right now who have not enjoyed the luxury of having an experience like that. And the most fearful thing is they don't want to presently face opposition that may challenge them because they fear embarrassment and they fear the fact that they may not pull through. How weird is that? How weird. We have to get away from that in our boxing culture. Got to get away from that. But I enjoy that very much. I remember as it transpired, I just raised up in my seat and I was like, oh, we got one. You know? Great stuff, man. Great stuff. I tell you guys all the time, watch boxing. And this is one of the major reasons that I say that, because I want you to be able to see that there are subplots to the stories being written. And sometimes a fighter will take a narrative into their own hands and put their stamp on the story being told. That's when you get the best of the sport. Yeah. So as I watched that, man, I found great entertainment in that, valuable entertainment. And for me, it doesn't take much, just effort on the fighters at hand. And I enjoyed the fact that both men did exactly that. They put effort in. So you have to tip your hat to them for that. If any of you watched the earlier fight card with Fury and Masvidal, let's just say you watched the whole card, because there were prelims that started, what was that, at 11 a.m. or something like that? And then you watched these fights tonight on Probox. You, my friend, were receiving a genuine boxing display and a genuine boxing education, because there was something that transpired through both cards to take and file into a data bank of boxing memory and reference that make you more whole and solid than a lot of people that are out here watching. I'm telling you. So that's what it's really about. Great stuff. And those two super welterweights, Yan and what's his name? Dwight. Listen, they have abilities. And when you look at guys like Fundora, Timzu, Bakram, their skill sets are not far from these guys. And these guys are younger and fresher. You got to pay attention to stuff like that. It'll make a difference. You know, guys, I really enjoy watching the fights and then coming back to do a post-fight show and give my assessment of the action that took place or whatever, because I take something away from matchups, you know? And that's fun. It's a great experience. Yeah. Hmm. So where's everybody at, man? When I did the post-fight show earlier, online was teeming with activity. Teeming. It was over 200 and something views on that show. Yeah. 200 and something views. I think that most thought that that was it for boxing today. And it would have been more still, because remember, I told you guys before the end of that show that Brandon Adams had to pull out after being hospitalized with chest pains before the weigh-in. So we would have had one more card on Triller. I think the card still went on, but I didn't tune in because I was watching Probox. Those were the two cards that would have overlapped. In fact, let me pull up Triller and see if it's on still, because it may still be on. Let's see here. see here. Trying to pull it up. They got a BK event on. Let's see here. Having a hard time. My remote doesn't work very well. Maybe you need batteries. Oh, okay, I see it now. It is still pay-per-view, even though Adams and Ariako has been canceled. It's pay-per-view. $29.99. I'm sorry, I can't do that price, but if it was free $99, I'd be all over it. Universal's asking, is it time for Mielnicki to step up the competition? Yeah, Universal, if you're just popping into the building, I had spoke about that earlier. He had told those interviewing him he intends to, after this fight, start, taking on more of the familiar names that you may know of and have those type of matchups. And I think he's ready. I do. See, sometimes you just got to get in there. There are a lot of people who think certain guys are good, but they're still untested. They may give the perception of being good. They may even give the perception of being capable, but you will find out a little bit of, adversity, and they don't know how to solve problems. They don't. You see how people are talking about the fight with Boots and Zayas? Why is everyone so surprised that Zayas wants to take the fight when that's typically the behavior of someone who wants to be in a position to prove their wares and do, the proper thing in the sport? Yeah, listen, it's an admirable quality because a lot of the guys of today ain't about that. But the fact that that young man is doing it, I knew when I first heard him speak after acknowledging that he had accepted the challenge of Jaron Ennis. I was like, okay, that's cool. I like how he's talking. But you notice that most people, they listen to it at first, and then they saw that it was kind of weird. Then they start saying, I don't know, is he overlooking Boots? It's not about overlooking anybody. It's about being confident that you are ready for any tests that come your way. And that's okay. Even if he loses, it's okay, because at least he stepped up to the plate. And if a loss is taken, turn the loss into a lesson by improving on why you lost, and you move forward. Now, if victory is in the cards, understand that you give him credit for victory. Something that a lot of people don't want to do. They'll start speaking about the other guy wasn't focused, wasn't really tested himself, and they make up all of these stories. But all you need to do is watch a few episodes of my Tuesday Tussle, and I talk about these kind of things all the time. All the time. Yeah. Talk about them all the time, man. Mm. Eric says, you ain't lying, Sensei. Some people only want to watch the big name boxers, but unfortunately, I heard that card was quite trash except for 2 fights, and that's quite sad. Mm. Yeah, that free 99 works for me, bro. That works for me. Got too many bills. Gotta pay. Can't be ordering all these pay-per-views. Today. That Jan Marcos and Dwight Fleming's, that wasn't a bad fight. That could definitely be a candidate. Hmm. Del Real says that young man on the Netflix prelims. Some good fighters out there. That's why you should take advantage of watching them when they're available. Netflix had a 10 fight card today. They had 10 fights. And 4 on the main card. It's a lot of boxing. Think of all the boxing that the people that came to that Tottenham Arena, all the boxing that they missed. Yeah, Universal, that mindset used to be the standard. Xander is displaying it, and you have to respect that from him. I wish guys like that success, man. I wish them a success. These sanctioning bodies are about to run into some problems, though. Yeah, Del Real BG, I think he had on his logo, right? Yeah, that kid looked pretty strong. Universal says, I saw they announced something about Fury versus AJ in the fall. I believe Turk gonna force that fight to happen. AJ just want a duck, but he getting ready to run into some problems because Matchroom is in a committed situation with the zone, and Turkey is all up in the zone's proceeds with his investments and everything. So, and yeah, I know there was a tragedy after AJ's fight with Jake Paul, but I'm gonna tell you guys something. Everything is not what it appears. I'll just say it like that. I'm running on fumes now, family, because I've been watching so much boxing today. I'm glad the fights didn't go real late into the night, but my goodness, I am fatigued. But you guys have been great coming on and supporting me like you have. I won't forget that. Won't forget that at all. So, any topic you guys want me to cover before I get out of here? Anything you want me to talk about? Or are you guys tired too? If you're tired too, that's okay to say. Don't sit up like, oh, I'm good since they talk about this, and then you fall asleep on my ass. I'd rather be going to sleep myself. Shoot. White magic. Universal says, I've been up since 7 a.m. Stormy, listen. I've been up since a little earlier than that. And let me tell you something. For an old dude like me, man, I should have been tucked in at 9 p.m. I should have been tucked in at 9 p.m., man. In a deep snore by now. Shoot. Only thing that would rouse me is the smell of some bacon cooking or something. Be like, is that bacon? What about the pancakes? Go with it, shit. And, you know, that'll get you up out of your sleep, huh? Because bacon is one of those things that when it's cooking, you just can't you can't deny that what that scent is, right? It's like, oh, that's bacon, you know. Del Real says, do you think Fury will cheat AJ? Do you think a robin can fly? Shit, what do you think? Shit, is water wet? They call his ass the Gypsy King for a reason. What the hell you ask me a question like that for? F plus. Hey, look here. Don't ask the sensei no questions like that, because I'm gonna tell your ass the truth and get everybody mad in this motherfucker. You're like, oh, do you think Fury will cheat AJ? Shit. As fast as possible. Shit. Can you say 1, 2 real fast? Yeah, man. Fury will cheat the fuck out of his ass. Salute to EJ out there in the rumble rat, he says, for a good midnight snack fun, aka sandwich. Thanks, man. Hey, man, appreciate you. But look here, answer that question one more time, because I can't help it. I just got to say it this way. Do I think that Fury will cheat AJ?
She.
In the words of Ali, are you black?
She.
Man, don't get me started. And listen, Fury done mastered that stuff too. You understand? He is the Gypsy King. They're gonna be looking for ripped gloves and detached thumbs. They're gonna be looking for, floppy gloves and stuff, egg weights and poison water, and they're gonna look for all of that shit, and he gonna bring some new out on their ass. He gonna bring something new out on their ass. Man, shit. Hey, go watch that movie Snatch. I'm telling you. Them Gypsy don't fuck around, man. This Mark done got himself all of this accolades and everything, and got a damn Netflix TV show, reality show, and everything, fighting headlining on Netflix. He's a drug cheat, he's a real cheat, he's a gypsy cheat, he's everything, right? And he's just living a good life.
She.
You guys have no idea, man. And people give him a pass. They don't even care. Y'all think AJ really want to fight that dude? AJ don't want to fight no Tyson Fury, man. He ain't smart enough for Tyson Fury. He be in the ring with Tyson Fury. Tyson Fury point to the floor and say, "Look at that." And AJ look, and he hit AJ and knocked his ass out. Yeah. AJ say, he cheated me. And Fury just look at him.
She.
Oh my goodness. Yeah, Del Real is like, he'll be, Fury will get in the ring and put one of them masks on his face, a Deontay Wilder mask, and AJ will run and jump out the ring. And then when Fury pull the mask off, AJ say, Damn, he cheated me.
She.
Did y'all see when Derek Chisora had a Tyson Fury mask on his face when he showed up at the weigh-in with Wilder? He said that Wilder had PTSD. But it's like, you know, they pull these tricks out the bag. It's like you don't be expecting somebody to do something like that. But AJ, oh my goodness. All they got to do is say, Wilder's coming to call the fight, you know. AJ will be like, I want top security. He can't come within 5 miles of the stadium. Did y'all see that stupid shit last week when Wilder walked past him and was like, hey, let's get it, bro? And AJ was just looking at him. I can't even define what that look on his face was. It was just like, just some stupid, ignorant shit, you know? Then he shows up to the Fury fight tonight, and Fury's like, come on, get in the ring. AJ just sitting there looking at him. Crazy, crazy, man. Crazy. But yeah, guys, we're going to get on out of here, you know. I appreciate everybody came out, the Rumble rants and, you know, little comments and everything. But we'll have some more boxing up next week. We in the thick of it now, man. Boxing is rolling right along. So you guys have a good night. I want to say shout out to the mighty LDBC. We'll catch everybody on the next one, man.